Welcome to Hello Main Street. I am your host, Monica Sanchez, and here we talk about thought-provoking ideas, tips, and tricks for fellow entrepreneurs. And today we have with us Derek Ricard. I always want to say Picard, but it's not, it's Ricard. So welcome
Yep.
here, and he has his own business. So Derek Ricard Photography. So tell us a little bit more
Mhm.
about you, Derek.
Yeah, so I'm from Yakima, born and raised. And after I got out of college, I looked into photography, got interested into it. So I went ahead and bought my first camera then, and just kind of fell in love with the art of taking pictures, and been doing it as a side job and a hobby for about 6 years or so. And then in that journey, I stumbled across real estate photography and fell in love with that little niche. So now I've been focusing on that for the last about 3 years or so and loving every minute of it.
Yeah, and I love that you're focusing on a certain area, right? And usually most people do when they get into a business, it's very general, and then you find where your focus is. And who wouldn't love to do pictures of homes? Like I love homes and all of that. And I went onto your
Hmm.
website with beautiful photos, by the way.
Thank you.
And you do aerial views as well. So you use a drone, and then you do also
Hmm.
different photos, and you have a la carte process, which is great. It's really important to get that personalized special brand that's out there. But question for
Yeah.
you, now we had talked about this before, which is, what is the importance of somebody having a personal brand? Because I know like realtors, they really need to stand out from the competitors. So how do you help them
Hmm.
in that aspect?
Yeah. So having a personal brand is really important because if I'm going to be listing my house, let's say I need to find an agent. Well, there's hundreds or thousands of agents per se. So like, why should I choose who I choose? As a consumer, I'm just going to think who's going to cost me the least and sell my house for the most. But that's everyone's objective is that. So like that's nothing unique. So then a personal brand is important because then if I see a sea of agents, but I see one agent is always on their social media, they're always in front of the camera, so I can tie the name to the face. I can see how they talk, see what they look like, that kind of thing. And if they're putting out valuable content, then I can see, okay, they know their stuff, they're an expert, and I associate that agent with like, okay, they're going to represent me well. They're going to get my house for a higher dollar or the highest dollar it can go, and I'm going to feel like they're treating my house like the house it is for me. It's the house where my memories are, so it has more value to me than just an empty house. So if I see that they're investing in their personal brand, I can see they're not going to try to get the job done quickly, but they're going to do it well, do it with excellence. And so that's just one of the ways that having a really good brand is very important.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I feel like when people stand out from their competitors, especially nowadays, it seems like everybody's going towards video, right?
Right.
Whether it's small little snippets of just themselves doing something silly, like I know Amanda Frank, she does a lot of those,
Yeah.
or showcasing a home in that way. Or
Yeah.
giving some really good tips and ideas for people who either they're going to buy or they're going to sell,
Mhm.
or like winterizing. It's we're getting ready to winter, so what do you
Yeah.
need to do to prepare for your home in that aspect? So I really feel like when people can set themselves apart in that way with that personal branding, that really does make them stand out. And then
Hmm.
it's funny how people, they may not like something, but they're always watching. And so
Yeah.
you're right. They're trying to get to know you, and they almost get to know you in a kind of a distance, because they get to know your personality and how you function, operate. So it's that warming up that connection. without
Right.
really knowing who that person is. So it's kind of funny how that works.
Yeah.
And so, how much time or how much do you think people should invest in their social media? And I just really want to focus right now on the real estate because that seems to be the most impacted right now, right? With the
Hmm.
interest rates up and the fluctuation in the market. So,
Yeah.
what are things that they should do to invest in their social media?
So the trend in social media, like a few years ago, used to just be about content, just like
Hmm.
the amount of content. It was just like always post something every day, which is still a good idea, but like the way to grow was just by posting content, just always doing that. So now we've kind of been flooded with that in the market in general. So now the trend, or what I think people are looking for now, is quality content, not just content. So,
Hmm.
you can just post a picture of a house, that's great, or like 3 tips for how to keep a clean house or whatever. But that's just basic content. Whereas if it's targeted and valuable content, that's going farther than just posting to post.
Yeah.
So, and even what I've heard is like even the algorithm treats that better than just post, 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 post all the time.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I think that's what I've seen. And as a consumer myself, just in general accounts that actually provide me value or like I learned something, I'm more apt to stay tuned longer. Whereas if it's just like, oh, this guy just posts every day and I watched little clips of it and I'm like, well, it's just average or boring content, then I just kind of have began to navigate away from it.
Yeah.
So I just say creating quality and valuable content, and also investing in like a professional content. If we're going to focus on real estate and trying to build the brand, then you want to make sure
Mhm.
it's professional looking and not like you just used Microsoft Paint to create something real quick. So
Do people still use Microsoft Paint? That sounds so old.
I hope not. I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. So, okay, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. Now, give us at least one good tip because I know that you do some social media, but you're focused more in that area of real estate. Give us one good
Mhm.
tip that is a good takeaway for other real estate people.
I would just say to get in front of the camera on your posts, because
Get in front of the camera.
in
Okay.
general, I think I see pictures of like, here's the latest market update, here's the houses that are on the market, or just things like that, or graphics of like tips to do this, that's good information, but I can't tell who's doing it. I've honestly seen the same graphic used across multiple accounts.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
tell it's like, oh, they got this graphic from their department's marketing team and everyone just took it and they all posted it. Which
Yeah.
again, the content's great, but if you wanted to stand out, you can take that exact same post and just get in front of the camera and discuss it in a little more detail than just those 3 points.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then that way, if I'm looking at the sea of the same graphics, but I see you and it's the same thing, but I see your face, now I'm gonna think of you when I think of an agent and not just
Yeah.
like a random account with a random graphic. And
Hmm.
even still, like getting in front of the camera can just be like if you do like a home tour video, something that I do, you can just be on the camera and for like 10 seconds. It doesn't need to be long form or like super in depth. Just to start, it can be just, hi, welcome to my latest listing or whatever. And then just like off the camera you go, and then you go to the home tour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
No,
like
I love
that
that.
is simple.
I think that's a great idea. I wouldn't have thought of that because I do know that sometimes it all comes from is if it's from one agency, they have a very similar template that goes out to everybody's social media. But yeah,
Hmm.
you still using that social media, using the template, but changing it to where it's going to have a little bit more of your personality in it. So I like that. I
Yep,
that tip.
exactly.
That's wonderful.
Hmm.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Derek, for being on with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This has been fun. And if you guys
Mhm.
have any questions for Derek, please feel free to reach out to him. His phone number is listed down below. And then go to his website. He's got some more information right there. You can also reach out to him directly. Thank you so much for being on with us today. And as always, like and share this. I can't even talk. Like and share this podcast, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Monica Sanchez, B2B. So thank you so much and